This is Don with SuperiorHomeSolutions.com. In this video, we're going to discuss if you should build a home in 2022. We have inflation, material shortages, labor shortages, and rising mortgage rates. So a lot of people wonder if building a new home is a bad idea today. Now, to set the tone of this video, remember the predictions they made about a housing crash in 2020? Did that happen? Well, obviously not. In fact, the complete opposite happened. There is a boom in the housing market today. Now, why do I bring this point up? It's because as much as people would like to predict the future, they can't. They try to guess what will happen, and sometimes they get close. But none of us really knows for certain what the future holds until it happens. Now, with this in mind, this video is not to predict the future for you or the outcome of your home build and say everything will turn out fine. Instead, it's to consider some reasons as to why it still may be a good idea or okay to build a home today, despite all the problems that we are seeing with these shortages and things like that. Everyone's in a different situation, so you just need to do what's best for you in your scenario. Now, my goal is to help you guys with your home building journey through videos like this one, guides, and other resources that I have at SuperiorHomeSolutions.com. So if you would, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe so I can get you my latest videos as they come out. All right, let's get into our first point. Now, I'm not a mortgage professional, but low mortgage interest rates can make new home building worth the money. Mortgage interest rates were at all-time lows in 2021. The average interest rate on July 29th was 2.8% on a 30-year fixed rate loan. Now, unfortunately, on January 21st of 2022, the average 30-year fixed rate was 3.598%. Now, that's quite a jump in mortgage rate talk, close to 1% higher or inching that way. Does that mean then you shouldn't get a loan now? We need to look at this more in depth to see and to get a real answer for that. Now, when you have a mortgage on a new construction home with a low rate, we all know that you will save money compared to a high rate, right? And it could be a significant amount of money that you could save over time. We are going to look at an example of a 30-year new construction home comparison with between a 1% and a 2% rate increase on $300,000, and we'll see how much can be saved. First, let's look at that 1% difference between a 3% rate and a 4% rate on that payment of $300,000. Now, the difference here between the two is $167 extra a month. So that ends up being $2,004 more each year and $60,120 more over 30 years. Now, what happens if there's a 2% difference? The difference between 3% rate and a 5% payment rate is $345 a month. That ends up being $4,140 more dollars each year and $124,000 over 30 years. Now, you might think, well, that means I just missed my opportunity to get in on a low rate, doesn't it? Think about this, though. Who knows what the mortgage rates might do in the future? They could go up higher and they could stay high, meaning that you missed out really on locking in your low rate now today. Let's also look at the other side of this, though, and say mortgage rates, they do end up going lower for some reason. If that happens, it's not a big deal. You just can refinance your home loan and get that lower rate when it's low enough that it makes sense to you. The point here is that if you lock in a rate today, you have the advantage because you have the opportunity of today's rate and you have the opportunity of that future rate. Now, the next point we're going to consider is that a new construction home has a resale advantage. Almost any house, new or old, is an investment. You buy it with the hope of it appreciating in value over time. But a new construction home gives you an advantage over older homes when it comes time to sell it. How so? Well, with anything in this world that is bought and sold, the pricing of an item and how fast it sells is based on that supply and demand thing that goes on. The same principle applies to the market of newer and older homes. Here's the principle in action. People love to have newer, up-to-date homes over those older, dated ones. And then the housing market, you have a range of ages of homes for sale, from new to old. But there's only a small amount of newer homes available compared to the vast amount of old ones that are available. What happens when home buyers are shopping then? They buy the newer homes first, and they're willing to pay a premium for them. This means a newer house will sell faster and will command more money than older homes, which is to your benefit. Here's another point to think about. Building a home reduces your competition in a seller's market. Now, in a seller's market, there are not enough houses to go around to all the buyers, but you can eliminate your competition or at least reduce it by building your own home. And this is especially true if you buy your own lot or land and build on it, because you are producing your own home, aren't you? So you're not relying on someone else to sell their house anymore. It's all on your terms now. You buy the property and you build on the property. It's all up to you. You don't have to wait for anyone else if they're selling their house. Now, our next point goes a long way with a lot of people. Everything is new. Updating costs are new. No unexpected maintenance or expenses for years to come when you buy that new home. Now, in my opinion, there's nothing better than enjoying a brand new home. What are some of the pros? You don't have to worry about painting, updating floors, uh, updating kitchens or baths, replacing appliances or the systems, or fixing, think about it, 100 other items that can go bad or maybe are going bad. You get to enjoy everything new, clean, up to date, and functional. But it's not just about having to deal with all the issues when owning an older home. It's also about how much money you don't have to spend on it. To update a kitchen, bath, and floor, we're talking about costs into tens of thousands of dollars. But when you build a new home, those costs are included in the price and in the mortgage. If you buy an old house and update it later, you will either have to come up with that money out of your pocket or take a loan out. And this isn't always practical, and it's not always convenient for you. Yes, when you build a new home, you can start living your life from day one. There's no worries for years to come usually. There's no extra expenses or surprises. And most importantly, you can immediately begin creating good times and memory with your friends and family. All those things can be really hard to beat. The point here, though, that we want to make, though, is do what's best for you. These are just some points to consider when contemplating whether to build a house or not to build a house. Everyone's situation is different. Before building, think about your personal circumstances. What will work best for you and what the worst case scenarios could be. If you take the time and the effort to take that honest look at the full picture, you'll make that best decision for you and your family. I hope this information helps. Have a great home building journey, and we'll see you in the next video, or we'll see you at superiorhomesolutions.com.